and you're welcome into the Seanad this afternoon, Minister. On the morning of the 22nd of December 2012, about 11 o'clock in the morning, I remember getting the phone call of the death of Shane McEntee, our Minister for Justice dad, who had passed away. And I remember coming up to that, the amount of online abuse that Shane McEntee would have actually received online at the time. And that was over a period of about a couple of months this went on. And I knew the individual, and I would have rang that individual that continued to harass Shane McEntee at the time, asking him to stop. On multiple occasions I would have rang and I would have asked that individual to stop, that what he was doing was not right, it wasn't kind, and to please stop. He didn't stop. And I know on the day of Shane McEntee's funeral, his brother spoke out about the online abuse. So that's back in 2012. So here we are today, and we've all, each and every one of us in here, would have received harassment, harmful communications and related offences. You can snowball it in any way you like. 2 years I suffered with nuisance phone calls. 98 phone calls in one day alone. For 2 years I was getting calls. And we couldn't get a prosecution because the person that owned the phone wasn't the person making the calls. Ridiculous. You know, I've received, and I've seen other female politicians receive the online abuse, threatening behaviours towards us. I remember sitting down with Annie there, maybe about before we were just in the council. Annie had just got elected in the council, and we're just talking about the online stuff and the private messages that you get, nude photos, and I can't even say that people would send you at all hours of the day and night, and people think it's acceptable. It's not acceptable. None of that is acceptable. We don't sign up for that. That is not what we sign up to do. I've had my office firebombed because I spoke out about drug crime in this country and drug crime in my town. And that's not right either. I had a child that had to leave my care because I ended up being a target for these thugs. And that's not right. I had the guards watching my home for that period, for about 3 months after. So this is not a nice life that any of us politicians live. We don't live nice lives. There's none of us that live nice lives. So for all those people watching out there that think we live in an ivory tower and our garden's full of roses, it certainly is not. We suffer daily. And I don't mind doing the work that I do. And I do believe in free speech, but I also believe in being free to represent the people of this country and being safe and secure in doing that. So I broadly welcome this bill, the main purpose of which is to address the gaps in the criminal law pertaining to image-related sexual abuse, both online and offline. It creates 2 new offences to deal with the recording, distribution and publication of intimate images without consent, and provides for the anonymity of victims of those offences. The bill also provides for an offence including the distribution, publication and sending of threatening and grossly offensive communications or messages with the intent to cause harm without the requirement of persistence. I note that the bill sponsored by Deputy Howlin is largely predicated on the proposals put forward by the Law Reform Commission in their 2016 report on harmful communications and digital safety. Given that the report was published 4 years ago and that this bill has had a gestation period of some 3 years, I have to voice my dismay at the fact that all 5 stages of the bill are to be heard in one afternoon, in the final sitting of the Seanad before Christmas, when many members are fatigued. Speaking in particular as a new member of the Seanad, The practice of compressing all 5 stages of a bill, which requires careful consideration, analysis and scrutiny, is highly undesirable. I do not believe it is good legislative practice, that it is necessarily in the best public interest either, the public who are to be offered a modicum of protection by this bill. I would argue that the people are better served by the allocation of a little more time of deliberation and debate, so that both upper and lower houses may do their work that they are elected and mandated by the Constitution of Ireland to do. Senators only received a copy of this bill as late as 9 o'clock last night. Surely, given that fact that this bill has been in years in the offing, the upper house should be afforded more time, more than one afternoon, in which to complete the legislative process, debate and ramifications of the bill, draft amendments and so forth. I'll finish up at that, but I do welcome the bill, but I do have concerns, like Senator McDougall has outlined and Senator Mullen has outlined. But thank you, Minister.
Thank you, Senator.